Hey, welcome everybody. It is the amazing training, the Go No Go Plan training. Welcome everybody. We are here and we are ready to go on Mother's Day weekend. So excited to go over this. One of the secret sauces for me in selling, one of the secret things that I utilize is a Go No Go plan. And the Go No Go plan recognizes that 80% of selling is in managing and developing a vision. 80%. So many people think that when they get someone to call them back by stimulating interest, when they transition interest and share a vision, get that verbal commitment, yes, I want to move ahead, that they're done, or at least 80% done, but you're not. You're about 20% done. And the hardest part after getting a commitment from someone is to manage and develop that vision. 80%, right? 80% is in managing and develop. There's an old saying, 20% is selling, 80% is collecting. Anyone that's in a professional services business understands that. And the easiest way to get a signed, sealed, and paid for deal is to learn the Go No Go plan. We got to manage and exceed or at least meet those expectations by using a Go No Go plan. Now, see, what a Go No Go plan really does is that it is a qualifier for your client. It's a qualifier for your customer. It's a qualifier to see if your client has an open mind and veracity in alignment with your agreement that you have put forth, or if there's some areas of concern, of separation, of interference, if there's some areas where maybe you have misalignment in the deal. And all of these can be handled by the Go No Go plan. We want to qualify actually our own agreement, our own customer, our own alignment, utilizing a Go No Go plan. What is a Go No Go plan? The Go No Go plan is the plan that allows you to talk about what's going to be done step by step, inch by inch. It's reaffirming what I call the 3 feet in front of me routine at night, meaning you get from San Diego to Maine just at night looking 3 feet in front of you. And this gives the 3 feet, the step by step analysis of what we're going to do from time of oral commitment all the way through execution and referrals. And we talk it through to get that alignment. What it does is it affirms what I call the AAA strategy. And if anybody wants the AAA strategy or the Go No Go plan, I'll be happy to give you a template and some information on the AAA strategy and the Go No Go plan. The AAA strategy says we need to first get alignment. 80% of our effort needs to be in alignment. 20% is in action and adjustment. So those are the 3 A's. Get alignment, take action, and prepare for adjustment, all contiguous in the Go No Go plan. So we're going to put together a plan, and I'll send you that template, david@dmeltzer.com. At the time when I get a shared vision, when we get really excited, but really are just teasing ourselves that we have a deal, when someone tells you, yeah, I'm interested, I want to move forward. At that point, you should have prepared to create the AAA strategy, a Go No Go plan that talks, okay, the next steps on Tuesday, May 9th is this. Then after that, we'll agree to move forward. After that, this will be on May 11th. I will do this. After we agree on that, we'll move to May 13th. After that, May 16th, and so on and so on, all the way through May 31st, when we will have a sit down to review all the activity that we guaranteed and make sure that we are aligned with the activity we guaranteed, the action we took, and see if there's any adjustments. And after that, we'll be able to talk about referrals. You're already managing the expectations, building a roadmap, a vision 3 feet in front of you as a Go No Go plan in palatable little bites of agreement. The more you get the client to say yes, 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 and yes, the more they're going to say yes, the more they're aligned, more their expectations will be managed. 90% of businesses fail because they fail to manage expectations, not exceed expectations. Very rarely do you ever exceed expectation? And it's a reality that I think everybody should understand. As we talk about, I want to exceed expectations. People's expectations are unrealistic. If you can just meet those expectations by creating a go, no go plan to keep alignment in what you're doing, the activity that you promise to do in the timely fashion that you promise to do it, it will allow you to manage those expectations so that they don't have unrealistic expectations, and two, that you can meet the expectations that are clearly defined in writing. And remember, when you put them in writing, you can let them know it's not because you don't trust them, it's because you want to remind them that you don't have a great memory and you want to do everything that you promise in the timely fashion that you promise it. It's so important. I also want to say, if you have any questions, we're going to leave the second half of training as always. Put your questions in the Q&A section. We'll be happy to answer those for you. They're already loading up in there. Just want to remind everybody. So using a go, no-go plan not only gives a palatable little bites, but it also allows you to adjust accordingly each step of the way so that things don't aggregate or compound into bigger problems. So there's so many huge benefits of managing expectations that go beyond just the execution of what you promised, having a codified roadmap for you and the client that keeps you completely aligned to implement the AAA strategy. All of these different things can be utilized when we have a go, no go plan to increase the efficiency of what you're doing in the deal flow, from a shared vision to thriving to getting paid. 80% of the effort is to get paid, right? 20% selling, 80% is collecting. And the go, no go plan helps you not only collect, but build more business in the most efficient way, which is people being satisfied with the guaranteed productivity, quantitative value that you promised. Now, in the go, no go plan, it requires one thing: that you know your business. So I have found, by utilizing the go, no go plan, that I have learned so much about my business, the business processes, the workflows, the guarantees, the quantified value, holes in my credibility, where we can have emotional attachment, where it might be more difficult. All the different reasons why are tied to that quantified go, no go plan. Also relevant are the impacts each step of the way that it has, not on the business, but also on the client or inside within the context of whatever that value may be. And it also requires me to know my business and my capabilities, which capabilities are overperforming, which capabilities are underperforming, which capabilities personality wise, personnel wise are overperforming and underperforming. The go, no go plan is not just to manage the expectations of the clients and this AAA strategy for you and your client, but internally, the go, no go plan puts stress on how well you know your business, how well you know the what of your business, the who your business, the how of your business, and the now of your business. And it allows you to create better systems by only looking 3 feet in front of you, putting dates and times into the required activities that you promise within the context of an agreement, what you try to share as a vision, what you, your sales rep, your company has represented they will do. So not only does it require you to know your business forward, but it requires you, as Steve Jobs teaches, to know your business backwards. What does that mean? That in order to create a go, no go plan, that you have to be able to connect the dots of your business backwards to the point of stimulating interest. So you need to know everything and how it's coordinated internally in your business and externally with your vendors and suppliers and also your clients, every single step of the way, and determine within the context of the man-made construct of time, meaning that you have to be more realistic when you know your own business and can connect the dots backwards, not only the dots backwards of the actions that are needed to place and the personnel that's needed, but the value along the way. So many times we find other holes and other opportunities in our business, other changes in our business because of the go, no go plan. We start seeing where we have an advantage or we have a weakness that needs to be moved and made into a strength because of the go, no go plan. Because we have to not only have it all aligned in the AAA strategy, we have to know our business moving forward and manage expectations moving forward in the business. But because it requires you to connect the dots backwards, to know each of those steps along the way, it now allows us to create better efficiencies, effectiveness, and statistical success in what we're doing. It is the roadmap to external and internal success. And utilizing the go, no go plan is the key component to all of these different things, including the ultimate qualifier of internal and external clients. Your internal clients are your employees, your managers, your directors, your executives. Your external customers are obviously those that you're selling through. Notice I say you're selling through, right? We should not be selling to people. We're selling through them, because the ultimate is the 5 to Thrive guide, which these managing expectations. Happy, like I said, to send you these guides. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Happy to send them. I'll send you my book, ebook, audio book. I'll send you and sign you a copy if you want. Pay for shipping, not a problem. But you need to be able to see how your business works, and not only see how it works, but actually logically connect the dots of your business and create a plan, a go, no go plan that says very clearly each step of the way what you're going to do before you do it. In order to do that, you really need to know it. You really need to know it. Yes, you can even put there, A, B, C options at this point. But when you manage from the start, you will close more business, even get more verbal commitments along the way, because it shows how everything's going to be done. It leaves no room for questions to be brought up later, less chance of losing profits, because you have clearly defined the business processes internally and externally of what you're going to do. Now, there's two types of go, no go plans, and we'll send you both if you want. The one is a long form, right? So these go no go plans can be used in mega situations, in enterprise sales, huge real estate deals, investments, etc., where you have lists. And sometimes a go no go plan can be a scoping. You can charge for a go no go plan. You can utilize this in so many different ways to effectuate value in the long form. So we can go through, and it can be multiple pages of information of going through each step, at which time, which options would be available, what requirements are necessary of the client or of us. All these different things can be listed out. And the more in depth it is, the more it will bring credibility and reduce the emotional resistance of fear of not knowing what's going to happen. And it's going to bring the forefront the questions, or at least to the forefront, an opportunity to ask the questions. It also is going to put a closing spot on each of the different things, because each step of the way you're getting agreement. Okay, would you like to move forward? Yes. Would you like to? Can you see any reason you won't want to move forward? No, we're moving forward each step of the way as we hit the milestones, even if we're adjusting, as the AAA strategy suggests, from alignment action to adjustment. That's fine, because the adjustments as well are minor, because we're taking these in bite-sized activities. We're taking it step by step, inch by inch. We're not going a mile with no smile. We're getting those smiles in agreement each time, step by step, just seeing those in front of us. The long form go, no go plan can be, like I said, an entire enterprise scoping where you can charge, but it also can indicate the necessary materials, extra payments, right? So along the way, because of your situational knowledge, adding credibility and emotional attachment, you could say, here's our business plan along the way. This, if it happens this way, it may cost you more. So now we're managing expectations of not overselling, underselling. We're managing those expectations in both directions, not just to articulate and effectively communicate, but also so that our client doesn't have unrealistic expectations along the way that keep building and building and building. And all of us have been there in big sales, which have made it very difficult to collect, or, believe it or not, a client may manipulate you. And so holding yourself to certain standards, being able step by step to mitigate your own risk using go, no go plans, because people can't go along the way and say, oh, well, way back in January, you didn't tell me, oh, hold on. In January, I hit the milestone. You said, let's move forward. You were in agreement. I gave you an opportunity to make an adjustment, change, etc. You did not take it. Here it is in writing. You checked off the box, go. We are a go since January, and the other 18 steps since we were there. And it's codified, not because I don't trust you, but because I have a horrible memory. And I want to make sure that I do everything that I promise, that I manage your expectations in both directions, not just of what I'm going to do, but to keep you away from having unrealistic or impossible expectations, which sometimes even goes as far or ends up in litigation. So we have to have a long form. Now, believe it or not, I use the majority of the time a short form go, no go plan. And in the short term go, no go plan, we may only have 2 or 3 steps, but yet still powerful in managing the expectations on both ways to clearly indicate, here's what we're going to do. You're going to come to in my master class, and then after that you're going to see if there's value, and you're going to read my book, and after that you're going to go ahead and try out my private one-on-one group coaching, and after that, after 3 months of that, you're going to decide whether you want me to work intimately one-on-one with you or have business opportunities, development, consulting, etc. Does that sound fair? And it's just written out in a simple email with the dates in there, copied in myself. So I have a copy in repository of each of the short form go, no go plans so that I can clearly indicate alignment and get sign off and collect the emails under the client's folder that says, yes, I'd like to move forward. I loved your masterclass. Oh, I loved your book. Oh, I love your Friday trainings. Oh, I love the one-on-one private groups. All of that, just go ahead and set a small email with a go, no go plan inside to make sure that we have agreement of managing not only the expectations of what you're going to receive, but also the expectations, which most of the time cause the biggest amount of problems, which is the managing the expectations of unrealistic expectations of employees or of clients themselves. Go, no go plans are a roadmap of alignment. They're a roadmap of AAA strategy, alignment, action, and adjustment. They're a repository to help you with the poor memory that you have to go back and look and see what was represented and what was delivered, and a sign off along the way. It is also a qualifier, long and short form, of who we're doing business with and for, because it qualifies along the way where there are misperceptions, holes, shortages, risks, even manipulation can be exposed as you go through the go, no go plan. It's also an excuse not only to codify what you're doing, but also it is an excuse to vet. Because remember, we always want to trust everyone, but vet the crap out of them. We want to vet hard. We want to ask the hard questions. The go, no go plan allows us to vet, to make sure that we are where we want to be, that we're going to be paid what we want to be paid. We are going to also hold ourselves accountable on the other side of it, that we are going to deliver what we promise and the value that we guarantee. The next thing that a go, no go plan that it helps with is the scheduling, right? There's activity you get paid for and activity you don't get paid for within the context of a business opportunity. And remember, 80% of business is collecting, 20% is selling. And the reason we best in the ease of collecting all stems from managing expectations and using a go, no go plan. But scheduling becomes a really cost prohibitive feature in doing business. As much as 80% of business is collecting and 20% is selling, collecting on time is a huge issue. And what the go, no go plan does is it reaffirms along the way, as not only you get sign off step by step, but you get a chance to review all the way through written agreement, payment, referrals, all the areas that people are just continually inputted the data and reinforced and programmed to just feel, okay, next step, no problem. Next step, no problem. So there's no scheduling problems as you go through a go no go plan and repeatedly go through it and send it, make sure they put it in their calendar or send invites, get agreement, alignment, all of these things. Think how much time, resources, and money that you lose every year just on poor scheduling, meaning that people forgot to put it in their calendar, you put it in the wrong time zone, whatever it may be. The go no go plan is a key and essential tool in allowing you to schedule effectively, efficiently with statistical success. It actually can have and be utilized in one of the steps, the scheduling process. That go no go, we will schedule the next 3 weeks on this date. We will have a scheduling conference call for 5 minutes. All that in the go no go plan if you want. But scheduling is a key component of utilizing the framework and the roadmap of a go no go plan, keeping everyone in alignment, making the decision making process easy, but more importantly, making the collecting process easier. Because remember, 20% is selling, 80% is collecting. All right. One of the other things that has stemmed from the go no go plan is the 3 no rule. Now, why is that important? Because if we're going step by step, inch by inch, if we're getting Triple H strategy along the way, we're getting alignment every step of the way, agreeing what the action is and preparing for adjustment each time, not only to make sure that we get paid, but also we get referrals so that we get the freest of all marketing, people telling other people what a great job that we did by managing the expectations both ways, meaning managing the expectations of what we're going to do and managing the expectations that they're not unrealistic. The 3 no rule is critical. So if I have a go no go plan and I'm in step number 6, and I am not capable of getting that executed, of utilizing what was promised, by the 3rd time, for whatever reason, I could have forgot once, the schedule could have been wrong, they said they were busy, they had some personal issue, an emotional issue, whatever it may be. But if it happens 3 times, the go no go plan is the most forceful of all to go ahead and use the 3 no rule. Because what we can do is send that go no go plan with the date and agreement of what we're supposed to be getting done and let them know that, look, we have tried this 3 times. I have other clients that I need to manage their expectations and execute on their plans. I appreciate what has happened, but I must move forward and prioritize those people. And so if you're ready to re-engineer our go no go plan, if you're ready to adjust what we had planned because it's been 3 times, give me a call or an email back. And if not, I've appreciated the opportunity to do business, and let me know when you are. 50% of the time, what you've done is accelerated back into alignment with the go no go plan. The other 50% of the time is the most valuable, because the first 50% of the time, you've just accelerated what was already going to happen with a lot less resistance, grief, frustration, and emotions. But on the other side, the people that never get back to you, imagine how much time, emotion, and energy you would have been spending. Imagine, just imagine how much time, emotion, and energy that you would be spending on that. Is that, I can't even imagine myself. So I want you to think about the 3 no rule and how you have this great codified document that allows you to send it each time that it doesn't work out, and then have one of the best closes to requalify what's going on, and go ahead and accelerate those people who are going to pay you, and then allow you not to waste time, emotion, and energy for those people who are not going to pay you, which is far more valuable, because I have wasted so much time, money, and emotion trying to chase or hit my head against a brick wall. As we all know, the definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing with the same client and expecting a different result. Ain't happening. 3 no rule in the context of a go no go plan. If you want that exercise, the go no go plan, or my book, ebook, audiobook, or a signed copy shipped directly to you, paid by me, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Keep the questions coming. We got about 5 more minutes. Let me take a sip here. All right. Now, finally, in the go no go plan, my favorite thing that came out of utilizing the go no go plan in the long and the short form was that it allowed me to ask for help. See, What happens without a go no go plan is things engulf in themselves, they compound themselves, they accelerate themselves, they aggregate in themselves, and sometimes we get so deep into something it's too late to ask for help. It's too late in order to save our own credibility or our clients' activities. It's too late to re-engineer, and all of that stems from we are not taking and managing the expectations within the opportunity to ask for help. See, along the way, if you're taking these steps every 3 feet at night, you're able to say, wow, I just need a little bit of help with this. Instead of 16 steps along the way that may or may not be aligned with what the expectations were internally, externally, or the expectations were unrealistic. This is where huge void shortages and obstacles occur, huge litigation arises. This is the key. It allows us step by step to ask for a little help, to look upon everybody not as enemies or gatekeepers of working against each other. The go no go plan is a roadmap of efficient collaboration, allowing us to bring up questions. And not only does it allow ourselves to ask for help, but more importantly, it makes the client comfortable. It makes our internal sales, management, directors, executives comfortable asking for help. They see these are just little incremental asks compared to huge asks when everything's screwed up because of blame, shame, and justification. It allows people, the go no go plan, to be accountable step by step without having the fear or the resistance of some huge repercussion of getting in trouble, getting fired, not executing, losing the client, not collecting, whatever it may be. Step by step, if we have a roadmap, if we have a go no go plan with times, a repository, utilizing all of the above, there is no problem too big because we can consistently ask for a little help, a little lanyap, a little extra. And asking for help is one of the nuances of using a go no go plan to allow people on every side of the opportunity to feel comfortable asking for help. So if you want this go no go plan, if you want my book that corresponds with that, no problem. Any exercise I have, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com, and I will send you the book, ebook, audiobook. I'll sign it, ship it to you, whatever you want, and the go no go plan, a template for you to utilize and how to use it in the book. And it's just for free. So all you got to do is email me. If you want to learn how to qualify internally and externally for open minds, for those people to give them a comfort level to have a AAA strategy, alignment, action, and adjustment, to manage expectations both ways for what you're going to deliver and when and how much value you're going to provide. But more importantly, to manage the expectations that there aren't any unrealistic expectations. That's a really big one. It enforces you to know your business and makes you connect the dots backwards and exposes so many different things that you think you know that you may not know, and value and opportunities that exist in things that you think you know that you may not know. If you also want the short form or the long form, that opportunity will allow you to create efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success. It helps with scheduling. So, utilizing and being a student of your calendar to use the lens of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude in order to keep the schedule aligned and to make adjustments in that scheduling, which only leads to a better qualifier of the 3-no rule, not only accelerating people each step of the way into agreement, but also allowing you to know who's out of alignment and out of agreement and not wasting your time banging your head against the same people with the same questions and utilizing insanity as your purpose or your project or your process. And then finally, most importantly, it allows you to ask for help just a little bit, a little lanyap, a little bit of extra, a little bit of help. Everybody should know that everyone's a sponsor and a power sponsor within the go no go plan. Remember, reach out to me as we're going to take some Q&A now on Clubhouse, on IG, on the webinar. Go ahead, let me know your questions, and email me if you want my book, ebook, audiobook, or these exercises and guides, the go no go plan, david@dmeltzer.com. I'm going to take an online question. Our next guest up on Clubhouse is Dr. Bernardo Otero. Give me 1 second to answer this question. Bernardo, get ready with yours. We'll keep this as efficient as possible. What if someone tells us that they are interested, but their actions don't match their words? This is exactly what happens all the time. People are afraid to say no, or people change their mind. They get excited, they get emotionally connected, and they make commitments that they can't fulfill. And the go no go plan is the ultimate qualifier of the open and committed mind. It is the ultimate qualifier because step by step, it takes them through and makes them feel secure and reminds them of the credibility, emotional attachment, quantified reasons, impacts, and capabilities. It allows them to have a roadmap to paying you and to referring business to you. So if someone tells you they're interested, but their actions don't match their word, this is a context, it's a constructive way, a roadmap to figure out where there's misalignment between what they're interested in and what actions they guarantee they're going to take. And it allows you to implement the go, no go plan and the 3 no rule in a quicker and more efficient fashion so that you can accelerate those people that are on the fence and knock the people that aren't on the fence off the fence so you don't waste your time, emotion, and money trying to pursue someone that has a closed mind or someone that isn't honest in the way they feel or what they want to do or can't explain that a situation has changed. All right. Next up is Dr. Bernardo Otero. What question do you have for me?
Well, thank you, David. Thank you for having me here. My question is, I am a consultant in a specific area of animal health. I started in January. I am quite successful doing B2B business with some companies in pharmaceuticals in animal health. I am helping them to land in Latin America because, based on my experience of 22 years working as a CEO of a great pharmaceutical company. But I need to understand how the world of work will could be after the COVID, because of course now based on the non-traveling situation, I am quite successful because they don't have the chance to have their own territory managers to do the job, and I'm doing the job of a territory manager is supposed to have. But my uncertainty is how it do you think is going to happen after the COVID?
Yeah. So look, we don't look outside of us in order to get the answers. We look inside of us. So what I would concentrate on is not the changes that will occur or have occurred, but instead just focus in on the skills you have, the capabilities that you have, the knowledge of not only what, but who. And then keep your eye on what's doing well today and keep leaning in to make as much as you can today with what's doing well, but also look at what's stable, what hasn't changed in the last 2, 3 years, and make sure that you're aligning your skills, your knowledge, and desire with what is stable. And then also look at what you think will be doing well. Now, you know your business far greater than I ever will, especially in a couple minutes on Clubhouse. But if you're looking internally, introspectively at yourself and what skills, knowledge, and desire you have, and aligning it what you think will be doing well, you will find that there's great opportunity and great options that come with change. There's always uncertainty. I don't, listen to anyone that tells me uncertain times or the uncertainty of the future. If anyone out there, wants to email me exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, I promise you I can make us billions of dollars. I'll go ahead and give you yours and I'll give mine to charity, but it's never going to happen. The only certainty about tomorrow is it's going to change. And so the only thing we can do is look at what we have control of, our skills, knowledge, and desire, our heart set, our mindset, and the conscious things that we can do, subconscious beliefs that we have, and utilizing our personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions aligned with what we think we're going to be doing well. So stop creating resistance and worrying about what might happen. Focus in on developing and leaning into the skills, knowledge, and desire that you have with what's doing well today, what's stable today, and then look to see how to apply those things to what you think, according to your expertise, experience in your industry, in your space, in your country, with what you think will be doing well in the future. If you take that trifocal approach, with the internal perspective of what you have control of, mindset, heart setting, conscious continuum, I promise you that you will have statistical success. You will not waste energy, time, and emotion creating resistance or worrying. Remember, worrying is just wishing for what you don't want. Go ahead and lean in, take the perspective of what it is. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. We will certainly appreciate you. Next guest up after I take a question online.
Thank you, David.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Next guest, as I take another question online, my two favorite letters of the alphabet, GG. All right, let me take another question online. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Um, I wanted to be a professional football player, but more than that, I wanted to be rich. I wanted to buy my mom a house and a car. The disadvantage of wanting to be rich is I became focused only on one currency, the object of energy that you put into the flow to get what you want, which was called money. I thought money bought everything, including love and happiness. The advantage of wanting to be rich at such a young age is you always keep your options open. I became very entrepreneurial, not closed-minded, not unifocal on doctor, lawyer, or failure. I instead extended my view of things to try to make money in multiple different ways and different streams of income by experiencing, looking, being more interested in all types of industries, careers, and ended up in the internet in 1992 because of it. But beyond that, the inspiration of wanting to buy my mom a house and a car, wanting to be a professional athlete, and learning all what is needed to be one, to enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential. Even if my potential was limited to being an average Division III football player, it still taught me the lessons that I could then utilize off the field to become a millionaire 9 months out of law school and buy my mom that house and that car. And then later on, a decade later, learn my relationship with the second currency, not just money, but the currency of faith, the greatest superpowered GPS in the world. Faith will not only reroute you when you break down, when you pop a tire, when you make a mistake and miss an exit. It'll reroute you not only to the destination where you want to be, but it's a superpowered GPS. It'll reroute you to even a better destination. All right, Gigi, you're up.
Hi, David. Amazing as always. By the way, you also look younger, so you need to sell us your secrets. Um,
Thank you.
I I loved your training, and it got me inspired to ask a couple of questions. One is there are type of people, because I'm talking about vetting, that just join courses and they don't put in the work. And even with me, I joined. We know each other for almost a year. It changed my life, and people are like, "How are you doing it?" And all I say is, "I just show up." That's the first one. And the second one is patience. Even with Clubhouse in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I love this app. And now it's like, I need to work on myself, be patient. And when I'm ready to do more, I'm going to go out there. So, how do you combine those two together and have faith? Like, when you start anything, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And it took me a long time to learn patience. So, how do you do that? And how do you vet people that they don't sign up for courses and say, this course sucks or this doesn't help me because it didn't put in the work?
Yeah. So you know what the key is, and I've given this a lot of thought as well, GG, is this idea of learning to love what you do. See, I have a philosophy that I'm not going to take an activity on unless I can first figure out how to have the right mindset, the right attitude, how I'm going to love what I'm doing. And so, because the truth is, when we're in the pursuit, we're loving what we do, right? There's no pursuit of happiness. Happiness is actually the pursuit itself. And so when you realize that, when you're taking courses, et cetera, and doing things for the future outcome that you may or may not be looking for, when we attach our emotions to learning to love that, when we attach our emotions, the energy that we're putting into loving the process and what we do, we change the entire playing field of everything, because it allows us, to appear as if we have patience. So, for example, if you love to play a game, or if you love long distance, these crazy 100-mile races, if you love that, you know people are, oh my gosh, you're so patient and persistent to finish a 100 miles race. But if you love it, are you really patient? And are you persistent? If you love something so much, and so the closer you can become to a higher form of love, to this higher vibration and frequency, the easier things are and the more they appear as if you're patient. Oh my gosh, you've been so patient to build one of the top podcasts in the world. No, I actually wasn't patient at all. I just didn't really care what the outcome was because I learned to love it so much. I was just so excited to meet more people and learn from them, millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, to learn their playbook to success. I wasn't patient about how big that would get. I really just didn't care. I learned to love doing them. And it appears or created a result of this blend of patience and persistence. But I think the key all stems from, are you building the muscle, the discipline, the focus to learn to love everything that you do? And if you don't love something and can't learn to love it, then delegate it or don't do it. I believe there's so many different activities we get paid for, so many activities you don't get paid for, that you're fooling yourself and wasting your time if you don't learn to love it. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I think it just shifted something big for me because I use the word passion, and now I'm like, oh, I love this. So yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Always a joy. Okay, I'm going to take another question online. Our next up guest on Clubhouse is D. Ernest. Thank you, D, for joining us. Give me 1 second to answer this question right here. What are your thoughts on the idea that we are living in a simulation? Wow. My thoughts on the idea that we're living in a simulation. So I take an interesting perspective on things that I don't know. So, example, I don't know whether there's past lives or future lives. So I take a positive perspective and say to myself, what's the better choice? And I'm going to choose to believe that. The better choice for me is that there's multiple lifetimes waiting for me and that this isn't it. That seems like a more positive, abundant approach to my life. So until someone can prove to me otherwise, I'm going to believe that. And I do the same thing on my thoughts on the idea that we're living in a simulation, is that I prefer to think as if I have some sort of connectivity to a higher power source of light, love, and lessons, and that I'm here to learn lessons in this embodiment that I've been given. And I have some sort of free will to clear the interference between me and that source. So, whether or not that's defined as a simulation or not doesn't really have any type of effect on my life of how I'm going to live and pursue my potential here. If it's a simulation, I'm still going to have the same mindset, heart set, and conscious effort that I'm putting in to expand, grow, and accelerate and learn as much as I can. If it ends up to be the truth, all I've done is done better in the simulation than I would have done otherwise. And that's the positive decision. So whether you believe this is a simulation or not is irrelevant, because you still should just enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential inside or outside of a simulation. You're only going to be better off. It's only going to be a better experience for you to live with gratitude and forgiveness, accountability and inspiration, to be able to make more money, help more people, and have. Look, if this is a simple simulation, then I want to figure out, start simulating me to make more money, help more people, and have more fun. So I think we get caught up into some nuances that have no relevancy in how we exist. And I'm looking for philosophies and activities that allow me in any context to be happy, to help people, and to have and to make money. Thank you so much. Very interesting question, by the way. D, you're up.
How you doing, David? It's truly an
Awesome.
honor to finally talk to you. My question would be, um, what did you say to a person like like yourself? We had similar dreams and goals to play football and buy our parents a house, but now those plans didn't work out, and I'm kind of back at the drawing board. I have a lot of things interest in entrepreneur, learning about stocks, and I want to start my own business and stuff like that. I just don't know where to start. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm searching for things that I don't really know what I'm looking for. You know?
Yeah, that's great question, D. Thanks for coming on. And you've made the first step because you're on here with us and we're all here to help you. So, what I want you to do, and we're going to utilize the 5 daily practices to figure out exactly, what you want who you want it, how you want it now, what to do, and your why. And so I will send you and anyone else, just email me, David at dmeltzer.com. We got a great private coaching group that we go over these daily practices. I do one-on-one help on it, but you got to take inventory of what you want every day. Personally, what do you want today? Experientially, what do you want today? Giving wise, product, service, value, what do you want to give today? Receiving wise, what do you want to receive today? Today, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of worrying about what yesterday was. Don't be afraid of being a hypocrite and telling people you changed your mind. You don't want to be a football player. Don't be afraid to tell people you don't want to buy your mom a house, a car. It doesn't matter. Today, what do you want? It will put everything within the context when you do it daily activities, when you have daily practices of knowing your what and then knowing your who, right? Who can help me? The fastest way to get to what you want to be is find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. Know your how. How am I going to do this? Who do I need to ask help for? But how am I going to do this? Utilizing the lens of productivity and accessibility and gratitude by studying the activity you have planned, the activity you don't have planned, and your sleep. You're just going to be more efficient, effective, and statistically successful. All three of those will allow you to figure out what I call the do it now, or what is your now, how to prioritize what's important. See, you can't even prioritize anything in your life because you don't know what you want. If you don't know what you want and who has it and how you're going to get it, you cannot prioritize by what's most important, which then just puts you into nothingness, not knowing where to go, which other people think is stuck. Instead, know your what, your who, your how, and your now. Then you'll know your why, and we'll start practicing spending minutes and moments in fear with the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, whatever it is, all those things that we do to get in our own way, all the things that we do to interfere with what we already are. We are health, we are happiness, we are wealth, and you're interfering with it, and so am I. I just want to shift the paradigm for people, give them the tools, the daily practices to clear away the interference between what they are already. And so these 5 daily practices will change your life. I'm going to send it to you. You email me, David at dmeltzer.com. I'll send it to anyone, including in my book. I don't care, ebook, audiobook, I'll sign it, ship it to you. This will change your life. Follow these 5 daily practices. You'll know what you want, who can help you, how you're going to get it, what you should be doing now, and why. All right. That's a great question, D. Thank you so much.
I'll email you. Thank you, David. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna email you right now.
You got it. Thank you, D. All right. I'm going to take a few more questions online. Christina Madrigal, you guys all know she's my favorite. So thank you. Just be ready. I'm going to take a quick few online here. One says, who else do you want to interview on your podcast, The Playbook? I want to interview who you want to listen, right? I don't do podcasts or speak or coach for what people are listening to. I do it for what you're listening for. So you tell me, email me, David at dmeltzer.com, who you want on there, and I will do my best. Fortunately, we have a pretty good pull. Almost everybody wants to be on there. So we got some big, big names coming up as well. But if you did not catch the Sod Guru last week, you got to download the playbook. Listen to the Sod Guru. That's one of the best podcasts out of the 750 I've done. I've ever interviewed anyone. I changed my life. I love the Sod Guru podcast. All right, next question. Advice for someone who wants to start a speaking career. Well, first of all, you got to speak, right? Not only got you speak, but you got to know what you want to talk about. You got to know the lessons and the stories in order to tell it. But you got to speak. You got to start speaking in the mirror, on the videos. You got to start speaking at chambers of commerce, at schools, where you got to speak. I spent 100 days on the road my first year of speaking, 100 different speeches. Some, believe it or not, my wife always laughed at me, there was 2 or 3 people, and those were the most impactful ones that I have. But just start speaking. You got to practice. You got to start telling stories and teaching lessons. And if you don't know how those stories fit together and how best to tell the stories and how best to communicate what they're listening for, how to be clear so that it's not just what you think you said, it's what they hear, as Lou Holt said. So if you want to start a speaking career, then I'm more than happy to mentor you, get a coach, start studying it, but most importantly, practice telling the stories and teaching the lessons. Practice, get as many gigs in front of as few people as you can. Make sure you capture them, modify them, amplify them, and perpetuate them on digital format. Make sure you have a whole repository that's searchable. I transcribe all of my speeches, all of my content, so I can make it word searchable. I have my own David Meltzer search engine, search.dmeltzer.com. If you want to search every video I ever did, I used it originally just internally so we could find the parts and pieces of all the things that I do. But now externally, it allows you to find the answers to your question. Search.dmeltzer.com. Free. Just check it out. All my videos are on there. It works. You'll love it. All right, Christina, you're up.
Hello, happy Friday.
Hi, happy Friday.
Hi. So this is perfect. Wow, the question before is like you set me up perfectly. So thank you for that. And also just wanted to say thank you and publicly acknowledge your team because your team is like the best in the world. So bravo to everybody who works with you. Sincerely, thank you. All right. So you just mentioned the Holtz quote where he said, you know, it's not what you say, it's what they hear you say. So I apparently have a need to be offended when I'm not understood. So how if I know I have this need to be offended that I'm working towards eliminating when I'm not understood, and I'm stop dropping and rolling, and then I'm like, oh, I think I know where the root cause is happening of why I'm getting offended. I believe I know why. How do I get that sorted out? How do I
Yeah.
fix that?
Well, first of all, thank you, Christina, as always. Everyone has a need to be offended. I always tell people, you've heard me say this before, I wish the world could be fed food as easy it is offense. Imagine how easy people would go to bed without any food insecurities at all if we could feed everyone food as easy as they're fed offense. I don't know why, but innately within our being, we have the problem or the resistance or the interference of allowing somebody else's experience to offend us, especially the understanding experience. Why would it offend us just because someone doesn't hear what we're trying to say? I can understand the interference and separation may cause fear. And I think that's the true root of the issue is that we most recognize separation, which makes us afraid. And when we're afraid, the blood leaves our brain. We get into fight, flee, feed, or the other F word that Gary Vee likes to use, mode. And we are capable of using our higher power of thinking. So I have created, as you know, a stop, drop, and roll methodology that says when I have the need to be offended for whatever reason it is, um, that I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to try to argue. I'm not going to try to resist. I'm not going to try to convince. I'm not going to try to re engineer. I'm simply just going to stop. And then I'm going to breathe, put the blood back into my brain, outside of my body. I don't need to fight you. I don't need to feed off of you. I don't need to flee you. I don't need to F you. I need to simply breathe, get back to center, find my higher power of self, my higher power of thinking, my higher source itself, and move in the right trajectory to maybe just re-communicate or to go back and assess what it is or how it is that someone could not effectively understand what I'm trying to communicate. We too often try to create resistance in a state of mind that only will create more resistance. We all too often try to accelerate through and end up accelerating to the wrong trajectory instead of simply stop, drop, and roll. Remember, when you say something and somebody doesn't understand it, right? You are accountable. You have an opportunity to try to ask questions to see where what you're saying is not at the same frequency or maybe the wrong spectrum or is not clear from what you said. Very often I'll watch a recording of myself when I get comments, and I've misspoke. I wasn't clear, or I thought I said something and it really didn't mean what I said, or maybe they're not listening. And that creates interferences. But realize anytime that we feel separate, inferior, superior, and usually those are the three things that happen when we're not understood, when we're saying something that they don't hear. This creates inferiority, superiority, and separation. Fear, innate fear of our quantum primal fears, fighting, fleeting, feeing, and effing. All of those things come about. The blood leaves our brain, renders us completely incapable of a higher power of thinking to reach our higher self of peace, love, happiness, and lessons. So utilize that stop, drop, and roll. Effectively try to recommunicate or study what you've said to communicate in a more effective manner. Does that sound fair?
Yes, it does. Thank you. I didn't stop, drop, and roll fast enough. I think I went straight into the conversation of like, I didn't say that. So thank you for saying the answers again. I appreciate you always saying just I just love you. Thank you.
Bless you. And yeah, whenever we respond, I didn't or whatever is below the line and blame, shame, justification, it's accelerating in the wrong direction, creating more resistance and interference. I'm going to take one quick question online and I'll see if I have time for a quick question. One of my favorites out there. One question, because he's known for machine gunning me with questions. Shosh Shetty, you'll be up after this quick question. Says, why is it so hard to exceed expectations? The reason is that people are unrealistic in their expectations comparatively of what's been agreed upon. That's why the go no go plan is so essential. Is that people think they say something or think they've communicated something, or they have an unrealistic expectation that's innate or inherent in what they're saying, but has not been effectively communicated. And utilizing a go no go plan will allow us to codify the ability not only to manage the expectations, to meet them, but also to manage the expectations so they're not unrealistic, and able to be able to codify those so that we at least manage and meet expectations. To exceed expectations, that's why lawyers will tell you their clients are never happy. You can get a huge judgment, and the minute you do, someone's expectations was, oh, you could have got more. Remember, the biggest lesson of the go no go plan in business for me is that 80% of our time is utilized to collect in 20% selling. That go no go plan allows us to be much more statistically successful in getting paid for the activities we get paid for. All right, we got a couple minutes left. If anybody wants that, it's david@dmeltzer.com. The 5 daily practices, go no go plan, my book, ebook, audiobook, signed book shipped to you, david@dmeltzer.com. All right, last question. Shosh, what do you got?
Hey, David. Yeah, first, I loved you had Sadhguru on the other day. What I wanted to chat about was, I know you're saying the Go plan is a statement of alignment. And just on the subject of sort of podcast, how do you employ that, think about the structure, framing, and questions you ask your guests to bring the best out of them?
Great question. So it's the same way under the context of what I learned when I was 18 years old. I want to be more interested than interesting. And so the key is I want to know what they're doing today. I want to know what they like about it. I want to know what they don't like about it. And then I want to be curious and creative in moving forward of what would help them either like it or not like it more, or where that insight comes from. And either it's providing commentary, leading direct, indirect questions in order to incorporate that curiosity and creativity to allow someone to communicate a strong signal to a specific frequency, to allow them to authentically and emotionally get attached with the credibility of who they are, like a Sadhguru or Deepak Chopra or a Ray Lewis or a Annika or Maria Sharapova or Danica Patrick or Dan Aykroyd, Cameron Diaz. I want them to be their authentic self. I don't care about their movies, right? I don't care about what everybody else has asked them. I want to know that innate being of emotion. I want to know what they're thinking and how they would act or react, utilizing a keen sense of creativity, curiosity, asking questions, open ended, close ended, direct questions that get to the core of who they are energetically to really expose their true frequency. I do a whole thing called finding your frequency. I try to find their frequency to give that Napoleon Hill playbook lesson to everybody out there. Thank you so much. All right, we hit noon. Next week's topic, come join me. We are blowing up here. How to close a deal. So now that we got the go no go plan, right? 80% is the collecting. How are we going to close the deal? That's the next one. Make sure you download the playbook. Every Monday, we got the replays of the trainings that I do. All of them are there, featured on Spotify. It's on Google. It's on iTunes. Everywhere you can see the playbook, even in the airports and hotel rooms. You'll love it. Don't forget the TV shows, 2-Minute Drill and Office Hours. Email me for all the guides and a signed copy, a video, audio book, or an ebook. It doesn't matter. I will pay for it all, pay for shipping. David@dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, everybody have a wonderful Mother's Day. Be a celebrant, not a celebrity, and be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Thank you so much.